These are the biggest things that I learned in my fight against the lust. Now, if you clicked on this video, I want to give you a little bit about me and why I'm qualified to talk about what I've learned in this time. So I was exposed to these websites at a very young age. I was exposed when I was 10 years old, or in 5th grade. I'm now 18. That's 8 years of my life. Almost half of my life, lust has been a part of me. It's been in me, and I can't get away from it, or I couldn't. But only in the past year, I've made a fight against it and made spiritual progress. So if you want to gain something, I want you to watch the whole video, because in the entirety of the video, I will be providing value in my own story to actually help you grow spiritually. I want to just get started instead of just yapping about myself. So the first thing that I learned is that you will always struggle. In fact, temptation will always be with you. But in fact, I think temptation is actually a blessing. And temptation really just means that you're still in the fight. James 1:12 says, "Blessed is the man who remains steadfast under trial. For when he has stood the test, he will receive the crown of life, which God has promised to those who love him." One takeaway I have from that is God will bless you for standing true under trial and tribulation. This isn't really a biblical analogy, but more of just a life analogy. When you think of the strongest person, they normally have gone through the most. For example, if you think about the strongest person, compare two individuals. Someone who goes to the gym 10 times out of 10, or someone who goes to the gym 0 times out of 0, or 0 times out of 10. After a year-long period, who is going to be stronger? The person who goes 10 times out of 10. Because they're putting themselves under that pain, that struggle, that pressure. They're increasing their adversity quotient. And really, whenever I hear people being tempted, I'm just like, man, that's more reason to be blessed. That's more reason to actually think of how blessed you are. Temptation isn't a bad thing. It's actually a blessing when you know how to utilize it. Second thing is, God always gives us a way out of our sin. 1 Corinthians 10:13 says, "No temptation has overtaken you that is not common to man. God is faithful, and he will not let you be tempted beyond your ability. But with the temptation, he will also provide a way of escape, that you may be able to endure it." James 4:7 says, "Submit yourself to God, resist the devil, and he will flee from you." I think so often we think that our temptation is just stronger than anyone else's and that nobody knows what we're going through. Yet Jesus was tempted and he overcame. He knows out of anyone else what we're going through, and he was able to endure it, which means that we can rely on him to overcome it, not our own being. Which brings me actually to my third point. You can't beat it on your own. I hear a lot of people nowadays say, yeah, I hear all these people struggling with lust, but the devil, he hasn't met me yet. And I just think to myself, how foolish, how stupid is that thought? That sounds harsh when I say it, but think about it logically. The devil is an eternal being. He has been here since the creation of time. And you've been here for what, 2-3 decades? Who's wiser? Who has more experience? Who was with God in heaven? Who was surrounded by him? The devil was. Which means he's wiser, he's stronger, and more capable than you. That's all the more reason why we need to put our trust in God, who is able to overcome sin. Can I tell you something? All the leaders in the Bible, all the significant people have failed. They have sinned. Moses, one of the greatest leaders. Abram, before Abraham, whatever you want to call him. Isaac, Jacob, Joshua, all these people have sinned. David, all these great leaders, Saul, they've all sinned in so many great ways. If they couldn't overcome their sin, neither can you. That's why you need to trust in God. Here are some verses that go along with that. Matthew 6:13. Jesus is teaching his disciples to pray, and he says in Matthew 6:13, "And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil." We're not praying that to ourselves. We're praying that to God. Because we can't overcome it. He can. Matthew 26:41. "Watch and pray that you may not enter temptation. The spirit is willing, but the flesh is weak. If you're still watching right now, it shows that you want to overcome the sin. You want to escape from the lust. So I'm going to tell a personal story because you are still here and I don't want to just put this out early in the video for everyone to see. This ties in with my fourth point. But lust has been in my life for 8 years. And last year, I think, is when I was fed up with having it in my life. I was talking to this one girl, and the night before we were having a conversation that was led in a sexual manner. It was not good for my spiritual growth, and it was just harming me. But what I woke up to the next morning really just pushed me over the edge. I had sent her a text at like 12 midnight, and it was sexually driven. And I have no remembrance of sending it, which scares the crap out of me. And I think that was kind of my wake-up call of like, I cannot have my phone in my room at night with me. This needs to go away, which is exactly what I did. I sacrificed it. I no longer sleep with my phone in my bed. It is upstairs in the office, or it's in my mom's bedroom. I realized I can't ever have my phone with me at night. Not only that, because also it is so accessible to just hop on websites that are not for my spiritual growth. And that brings me to my fourth point. If you want to overcome lust, you have to realize it will take longer, be harder, and involve more sacrifices than you think. With my story, that is just one small sacrifice. I don't sleep with my phone in my room. Now I'm sacrificing things at the gym. If I see a girl who I know my eyes are wandering towards her, I need to put on a hat. I need to put up my hood. Or I need to start praying. Because that little temptation, if I let it fester, will grow into something more. So if you have a girlfriend, if you have a show you like watching, if you have a YouTube video or a YouTube channel you like watching that tempts you, you need to cut it off. This is something I wish I knew sooner. If you would have told me a year ago, 2 years ago, in my relationships, you need to stop dating this person, I would have fought you so hard. But looking back, it would have been the best blessing in my life. If you are struggling with staying out of bed with your girlfriend, that's killing you. That is literally killing your spiritual progress. And you need to cut off all and any temptation and sin. If you want to ruthlessly grow in God, you have to ruthlessly kill your sin. That's what it takes to grow with God. I hope this video helped you. I hope you gained something from it. I hope you have value found in these words. It's my prayer that you grow and that you reach your potential through Christ. I thank you for watching. If you're new here, please subscribe because we will grow together through Christ. Have a blessed day.